Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's episode of Stamping with Suzie Q. My name is Sue Sanders, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri. So tonight I have a meeting in Columbia, Missouri, so it's about an hour away from me, and it starts at the same time that I'm supposed to be going live. I can't believe that. But anyway, we are going to pre-record this, and then I'm going to upload it so that y'all can still watch it at the 7 o'clock Central Time slot. This is one of the cards we're going to be making tonight, and all of the measurements and what I've used is going to be listed below in the description of this video. So we're going to start with this, and I am using Calypso Coral as my card base, and it's just a regular card base that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Very simple. Then we have two pieces of basic white that measure 4 by 5 1/4. One will be our inside piece and one will be our outside piece. So let's go ahead and get our stuff ready here for our stamping. We are going to be using a couple of different stamp sets tonight. We're going to be using Unbounded Love for our greeting, just for you. We're going to be using Spotlight on Nature for our focal images. And we are using Elements of Text. Now, Elements of Text and the Spotlight on Nature are both in my online store, and those are online exclusives. So if you're looking for those, look under the online exclusives and you will be able to find those stamp sets. I'm also using, for my embellishments, I am using some of the gold adhesive back swirls. Now, ladies, I have to be honest with you. I'm not really sure if these are still in or not. I have not had a chance to go through all of my embellishments and pull out retired ones and keep them separate. But these are the ones we're going to be using.
What's it called?
These are called the gold adhesive backed gems. I'm sorry, backed swirls. Okay. Ink colors that I am using are Misty Moonlight, Smoky Slate, Old Olive, and Calypso Coral. So those are going to be the four colors we use. And these are the stamps we're going to be using. So the gold
texture adhesive backed dots.
Oh, no, these are swirls.
Let me see.
My assistant, Dorothy, is helping me.
Oh, they look like little tacks. Okay.
All right. I've got stuff all over my desk, and my stamp blocks need to be cleaned. All right. So I have been doing multiple things today that we had to get done. We've done a little bit of sublimation. We've done some emails to my Blue Star moms, several things.
No, these are out.
Okay, so these are retired.
There's other ones that would...
But there are other gems that you can use. Use what you have in your stock. Use it up, ladies, because let me tell you, you want new stuff all the time. You want that new stuff. But pretty soon you run out of space. So you got to use up your old stuff to get some new stuff, okay? That's my suggestion. Let's use up the old stuff and get the new. All right, so here are our stamps, and I am going to show you a technique tonight that is going to be really awesome, and you will need your silicone mat for this technique. Let me grab mine from my tray here. So I will need that for the inside. So let's go ahead and get started and start doing our stamping. Now, this is a very simple card, but I think it turned out really cute, and you could use it for a birthday card, a thinking of you card, just sending a note to somebody, any occasion. I'm going to take my smoky slate, and I'm going to ink it up on this stamp that has all these little words on it that you can't really read, and that's okay because we don't want to read them. And I think I designed this a couple days ago. Let me check here. Did I do the second gen? Nope, I think I did first gen. So let's restamp, or let's re-ink this. And we're going to place this towards the top, like so, and really give it a good press down. All right. So there is our background. All right, so we're done with the smoke. Well, we're not done with the smoky slate. Let's go ahead and do our greeting. And it says, just for you. And we're going to put that down here towards the bottom. Now we're done with the smoky slate, so we can get rid of that one. We're going to come in with our Calypso coral and our flower. I love Spotlight on Nature stamps. They are so pretty. Now, I do believe that I stamped off on this. Yes, I did. Did you know that you can get multiple colors from one ink pad? This is the first generation, so it's kind of dark. And then this is the second generation. It's a little bit lighter. And here is the third gen, which is even lighter. So we can choose any one of these that we would like. And I think I'm going to go with the third gen. Although I do think I did the second gen. Which do you think? First gen or second gen? Or I mean, second gen or third gen?
You did second.
Okay, so here's our first generation. Now we're going to come in here and we're going to stamp this kind of up in the center a little bit. So there is, yes, I did. So there is our flowers. Now we're going to come in with our old olive. I hope you girls like this card. And I know I did second gen on this one. So that's first gen. And we're going to take this flower, or this leaves, not flowers, leaves. And we're going to just kind of stamp it right up there to where some of it comes off the edge at the bottom. Just gives it that different effect. Oops, forgot to close up my Calypso coral. Now I'm going to come in with Misty Moonlight, and we're going to stamp our butterfly. And he was also second gen. Okay, so here is first gen. And now we're going to take our butterfly and we're going to do it over here. Okay, so there is our butterfly. I might have even done him third generation, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, we're going to still need that. So that piece, the front is already done on our card. Now we're going to come into the inside. And I've left no greeting on it, but I have put some butterflies on there. How did I get that stamp to go the opposite direction? Well, let me show you.
That's a good question. I was wondering that.
I know. Well, let me show you how that's done. So we're going to take our silicone mat. We're going to ink up our stamp. We don't want it real dark, so we're going to stamp off once. And now I'm going to stamp that onto my silicone mat. So now I have that image on my silicone mat. I don't want it flying up and down straight. So let's see if I can get this to where it is on a angle. You're going to lay your paper down and you're going to rub that ink onto your paper. Voila. I have it, but I did it on the wrong corner. I needed it over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this off real quick with my... Oh, that's not very wet at all. Clean that off. And we're going to do that again. And this time I'm going to lay it down on the right corner. So if I'm going to flip this over, I want it over here. So I need to stamp it on this side. So stamp off. Here's my butterfly. We're going to put it on a little angle. And I want it on, let me think. Sometimes you got to think these things through, right? All right, so this is going to be my front. So I need it over here. Need it over here. Yep. So we're just going to cover up this back one. It's not going to show by the time we lay it down. There we go. So now it's flying in the opposite direction. And I can now stamp my other one up here at the top. And I did give it a little bit more color. So there you have where you can do the reverse stamping. All right, it's not hard at all, but you do need to use your silicone mat. And then you just wipe off the ink and your mat is good as new. Okay, so did y'all get that, or do you need me to show you one more time?
Show me one more time.
Show you one more time? Okay. All right, this is just a piece of paper here, and we're going to take our butterfly again, stamp it up. This time we're just going to do full strength, okay? And I'm going to stamp it here on my silicone mat. We're going to lay down our paper. So it's kind of like you're making a mirrored image. And there we have it. Okay? Because that's going one direction. And this one is going the opposite direction. So there you have your mirrored image. Okay? Post in the comments what you think of that technique. And if you need more instructions on that, then I can look at the comments and see what's going on. Now remember, if you want to make comments on YouTube, you have to be signed in to your Gmail account. That is not my rule. That is YouTube's rule. Ladies, that's it. That's all there is to this card, is sticking this down now. And we're just going to use our adhesive strip. So a very easy card, but because you have those different layers on the front, it looks like you've done a lot of work. There's our front. Here's our inside. Cover up that bad piece that we did backwards. Not really backwards, but I didn't want it on that bottom corner. Don't worry, the next card is a magnificent fun fold that Dorothy designed for us. Okay, here are our gems that we're going to put on here. Easy peasy, ladies. And you can put your gems on anywhere that you decide that they look good. I'm using my Take Your Pick tool. Whoops. One up there in that corner. We're going to put one over here. And we'll put one down here. Okay, so what do you think of that simple card? But you could jazz it up. You could put ribbon on it if you want to. Tie a little bow. You know, whatever you'd want to do to make it yours and to jazz it up. You could take, let's see. I'm going to do it on my card first. Let's take this card, and I'm going to take the Misty Moonlight. I'm going to show you something else here. I'm going to take my water painter, And I'm going to take a block and I'm going to put a little bit of ink on my block. Then I'm going to put some water on it with my water painter. And I'm going to take now take your pick tool, and we're going to put some splatters on here. Maybe I need to do it this way, because it's just very faint. There we go. There. So there are some water splatters on there that just make little dots. So that's something else that you can do with your ink. You can also do that with one of the markers. Okay, so you just take your ink and hit it against something, and you get those splatters. Okay, we're going to do some more on here because some of these didn't turn blue. They turned just white, like they're just water. So now I have some blue spots. Okay, y'all want to do that on your card? Don't forget, comment. And if you're going by your YouTube channel name, let me know what your real name is. Let me know where you're watching from. So that just gives it an added little texture. Okay, see the little dots around? Okay, so that card is now done. Let's get on to our fun fold card. It is magnificent, if I do say so myself. And I'll clean my water painter after the video is done. All right, for our next card, let me wow you at this because it is so awesome. This is made with the beautiful butterfly set, along with the Bokeh paper. So you have this on the front, then it opens up, but then it opens up again to give you greeting on the inside. This is not difficult, so let me show you how we're going to do this. First of all, I'm going to flip this over so that I don't get ink on this. This is a card that measures your regular card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then you're going to take the beautiful butterfly dies, and you notice that there's one in here that
it's black. I forgot to take it out.
Yes, Dorothy didn't clean out the dies. You will notice how this butterfly looks. It is made to cut this little butterfly to be a card. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. See these little lines right here? That's where you want to line it up on your paper so that it will not cut all the way through. Okay. Let's see. I don't think I have any of my tape over here. Dorothy's getting me some of my tape. Mine's on a nice roll. Hers is not.
Beggars can't be choosy.
I know beggars can't be choosy. I'm just working at getting the tape started out here, girls. Okay. So all I'm going to do is now, once I get those lined up there, all right, I'm going to tape this down so that it doesn't shift when we're going through the cut and emboss machine, okay? So when you get that cut through, this is what you wind up with. Okay. And then it opens up for you, just like so. Okay. All right. So now on this one, we're going to take some Berry Burst, and we're going to take the inside of the wings, and there's two of them, so you have to be careful when you're doing this to make sure that you're going to be putting them down correctly. So you want this one to go here and this one to go this direction. So you have two of them, and then you want to do opposites on the top. Looks like she did full strength on these. Berry Burst is a very vibrant color. So we're going to make sure that we've got it stamped up. We're going to kind of line up our little round bottom portion of our wings, like so. And then we're going to do the same to the top. And they don't have to be perfect. I love butterflies too. There's that one, and I may have gotten it a little bit too close to the top, but that's okay. Now we're going to take the left side. We're going to ink it up to make sure that I've got all the ink on there. We're going to stamp that down. Going to rotate it. And we're going to stamp this side. So now we have the inside of our butterfly wings. Pretty, aren't they? On the inside of this, we are going to take a couple of things. Let's get the rest of my stamps out here. And we are using the right words for our greeting and then the beautiful butterfly stamps and dies. We're going to use Fresh Freesia and Balmy Blue for the inside of our butterfly. You will notice Dorothy has stamped little dots all in there. No rhyme or reason, doesn't matter. We're going to use Balmy Blue, and we're going to stamp off so that they're light. And then we're just going to stamp them randomly all over the inside of our butterfly. Okay, then we're going to take and come in with our Fresh Freesia, and we're going to stamp some more. Stamping off. And we can add more to it when we get done with this. Okay. You don't want to go overboard, but you want to have enough little dots that it makes it cute. Oops, almost didn't stamp off on that one. Let's see. Let's do some right here on this edge. And turn your stamp around. Okay. Let's come back in with some more Balmy Blue. Kind of fill in those white spots. Okay, that looks pretty good. And now we're going to do a greeting on the inside. Time to celebrate. We're going to stamp that with a Berry Burst. Then we'll close up our Balmy Blue. Time to celebrate. Oops. See what I did, ladies? I just got ink all over me. Just wiping it off so that I don't get it all over my cards. Because that ink is set there for a little bit. I'm going to huff on it. Time to celebrate. And that's going to fit right there in the center of our butterfly. Okay, pretty, pretty. Love it. Love the front of that. We're not done with it just yet. Okay, let's go ahead and attach our little body to this. So here's the body, and it is cut out with the butterfly dies. Make sure I'm going to glue it to the right side here. And for this, I am using my Precision Point glue bottle. And just carefully putting my glue on it and dropping it. I dropsy everything. We're going to, as close as we can, get those antennae attached to the top. Bring his little tail down. There's that. Now we're going to stamp Happy Birthday on just a little piece of scrap. And that's also going to be done in the Berry Burst. Happy birthday. There we go. That's good. Okay, we're going to set those two things aside and work on the inside of our card and get that stamping done. So on the inside, we have to celebrate to someone worth celebrating every single day, and that is in the Right Words stamp set. Here is our inside of our card. Let's lay this piece down first, and we're going to use that purples and blues. And I just took a piece of 3/4 inch, which is like a scrap of the front that we're going to be using. And I didn't need to glue it all the way to the end because I'm going to be cutting it off. But this way, if I have it overhanging a little bit, I can make sure that it's all the way to the ends and then just trim that off and not be short. So I'm just going to take my glue scissors, which need to be cleaned. This is my sticky scissors. And trim off those edges. And that can go in the trash. All right, so that's the inside. Let's stamp our greeting. This is full strength with the Berry Burst. We're going to do that right there in the center pretty much. There we go. Now our little butterfly, we're going to put in Balmy blue. And we're going to stamp him off. Put him right up there in the left-hand corner, just like so. All right, we're pretty much done with all of our stamping. Before we go in and put all of this together, I'm going to take my Winkostella pen and I'm going to Winkostella the heck out of this. I'm going to put Winkostella on my inside butterfly. I'm just kind of going around the edges. Give him some sparkle, sparkle. Just like so. And just for, oh, did you see that? It just globbed on me. Darn it. Oh, reach for a Kleenex. Just going to kind of wipe that off. You know what we're going to do? We're going to do our little trick with our pad. And I want it to go that direction. Where's my little butterfly? we're just going to fix our boo-boo with a butterfly. Here's our butterfly. We're going to stamp him off. I'm going to stamp him on our... Yep, I may have to go full strength. And then we're going to turn him around a little bit, put him down kind of right where that glob is. It wasn't supposed to glob out of there. He's kind of flying funny.
Let me see. Okay, you really...
Yeah, I messed that up.
That up.
Would you get me another piece of white paper? We're just going to redo this. We got time, right? Because, I mean, I haven't been recording very long at all. No, I don't, but... Oh, someone has taken a picture of me and posted it, of me videoing. Thank you very much. Would you get me another piece of...
It's in that.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, there, I have another piece. Already cut. Don't have to worry about it. This one might be a little bit bigger, but that's okay. We're not going to worry about it.
You want it cut down?
No, this is probably an inch instead of an inch. We're just going to use it. We're just going to make it do. Just making it do. So if you weren't here, probably a lot of you weren't. So not only do I have to get my air conditioner replaced, which is a must this year. I know I've been talking about it, but this year it is ready to go out. So I have to get that replaced. But then we figured out, or we found out, that our whole pump, our water pump, because we're not on a city water, has to be replaced. And now I'm having a difficult time getting a loan on my property. I don't know what their deal is, but anyway. All right, so now let's restamp our words. I love redoing things. Sometimes I do things 2 or 3 times before I get it to my satisfaction. Or I should say, because I mess up on things. Okay, there's that. We're not going to try putting the other butterfly on because I don't want to waste another piece of paper. There's a stamp off. And we'll just put him up there. And then I'm going to let the Queen of Winkostella, she's going to Winkostella this. She's the queen, and she never seems to get blobs. I always get blobs.
Well, you don't.
So she can do that while I'm putting the front of this card together on the card base. So I have a piece of that designer series paper, the beautiful Bokeh paper, and it is cut at 5.5 by 4 1/4, and we are going to put that right on the whole front of that card. So we're going to use our adhesive. And I could have used glue. I don't know why I picked up the adhesive runner, but I did. And now we're just going to line these two up and put them together. Very good. I didn't mess that up. Shoo! All right. So she's Winkostella at our inside. See, I tried to do too much Winkostella. The queen did it. That's what I'm going to call her, is the Queen of Winkostella. We're going to put our inside greeting in. So, did I did a tape runner on it. Just got a little bit off, but that's okay. It is a homemade card. Now we're going to take our butterfly And we're going to glue him up to the top of our card, just on the back side. And I am doing this with my glue, because he's got little pieces that I want to make sure get stuck down. Around his wings. I'm going to turn my card upside down so that I can get this lined up with it. Okay. And that looks about even. We're going to lay that down like so. Okay. And now we're going to take some dimensionals, and we are going to pop up our happy birthday in the center of his body, just like so. Cute, cute, cute. I love this card. And I've been wanting to make one like this for y'all, and I just hadn't gotten the chance to. So Dorothy did it. Well, I tell you, I don't know if anybody else had really bad storms on Monday night. I know there's been several places in Missouri that have been hit hard with tornadoes. Thankful that we don't get them. I mean, we do get them, but in our area we don't. We haven't been hit with any, so I'm glad. So if you're out there watching this YouTube, and if you are looking for any particular stamp set from the last previous, oh, I don't know, 15 years or so, maybe even longer than that, send me a message, because I may have it for you, along with ribbon and paper, all kinds of stuff. And I am trying to clear out my stash. And Mom's. If you didn't know, my mom passed away in February, and she had just as much stamping stuff as I did, possibly more, and I have to get rid of it because I do not have room for all of it, hers and mine. Now, Dorothy used a couple of little teeny tiny fresh Freesia for the antennae. One right there. One right there. And then she used some of the
Peach pie.
Peach pie. That's what I thought it was, peach pie. We're going to add one there. We're going to add one here. And we're keeping it in groups of odd numbers. So we're going to put another one up there. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to hand it back over to the Queen of Winkostella. And she's going to put some more Winkostella on the front of that card for us, so that it really shimmers. Cute card. Doesn't take long to cut. Like I said, you know, a lot of times people say, well, how do you come up with your ideas? Well, that sometimes is the hardest thing for me, is coming up with a design that I really like, that I want to do live. It's kind of like I want all these ideas, but sometimes I get excited and I want to do these really tricky cards, but teaching them online is a whole lot different than me just putting them together, because of course then I have to explain what I do, and sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing, believe it or not. Oh, Dorothy just laughed. She thinks that's pretty funny that I don't know what I'm doing. While we're waiting for the Queen to Winkostella that, we're just going to clean off our stamps so that I don't forget to do that. We have to get ourselves ready to go here pretty quickly to go get little Miss Audrey from school. Can't believe that she's completed her freshman year of high school, and she will be a sophomore next year. But then I have my second grandson, and he is going to be a junior next year, and that really makes me feel old. I think.
And you have a grandson who's graduating or who's getting married in 509 days.
I know. And then my oldest grandson is getting married in 500 and some days. So that'll be October 12th. I'm sorry, October 11th, 2026. And he is finishing his freshman year of college, which
I'm going to be honest with you. I never saw my son as a college kid.
Oh, I never did either. I homeschooled him. I know. All right, so I'm just getting all of my stamps cleaned off here, setting them aside. She's going to be done Winkastelling pretty soon. You like my words. Then I'm going to show you both of our cards that we made tonight. And I hope that the video interests you. Remember to like and share down below so that everybody can see me. I love it when you share my videos. Please make comments on which card is your favorite. I think I can kind of guess on some of my followers. There's the Winkastella card. And there is the first card that we made. Remember, the cutting directions are down below the video description. And there we have our two cards. Let me show you last week's cards. And some lucky winner will get these. Some lucky viewer, I should say. So here we have this one and this one. I just love those arches, the everyday arches. So the winner of these two cards is Cherie. So congratulations, Cherie, on commenting on last week's video. If you don't comment, ladies, you can't win the cards. All right? So please, please, please make comments. I do come back and read them whenever I have to do a recording. I do come back and watch the recording and then view all the comments. So until next Thursday, when I will be live, you all have a wonderful week. Oh, and don't forget, Friday morning, we will be doing coffee, chat, and a card. But I'm going to switch the time because 10 o'clock in the morning is kind of late for some people. So we're going to switch it to about 9 o'clock in the morning. And that way you're not getting into like your housework or your errands or things like that. So 9 o'clock Friday, the 23rd of May, we'll be right back here on YouTube doing coffee, chat, and a card. And I'll show you another easy sketch card to do. Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend.